Welcome back to another rebuild challenge here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back and we are going to be doing the accepting every rule rebuild. This is one I've done in previous years. It's pretty simple to explain. There's an option and there's a setting in 2K that every single offseason, there's league meetings and there's different rules that 95% of the time get declined because they're so absurd. And I really just turn off the setting most times because they're that absurd. But today, we're going to accept every single one of those. So you guys will see how crazy some of these are. They literally go ahead and they change the league as we know it. Some of them are basically as dumb as like first basket in overtime wins the game. Some of them extend the minutes in games. Some of them shorten the minutes. It's absolutely crazy. You guys will see in just a sec. The way we're going to do this one today is we're going to do a fantasy draft. I feel like that's the more fun way to kind of do this. Also adds a little bit more of a challenge to it. And obviously that means we're going to start in the regular season. So we'll have 2 off seasons and 2 times where we're going to completely change the NBA as we know it. You guys have had a ton of great ideas recently, and trust me, I do see them, and I will get to all of them at some point in time, but keep letting me know them down below in the comment section. Let me know you guys really want to see them, and upvote the ones you guys do really want to see. Of course, if you guys are new around here, have not yet subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button. Stick around a while. We'd love to have you here in the community. But yeah, man, I'm happy to be back doing some challenges. This one isn't necessarily the hardest of the bunch. We're definitely going to ramp it up a little bit, if you will, as we get into the summer and get some really hard challenges going. But let me know some challenges you guys want to see down below in the comment section. But without further ado, man, accepting every rule rebuild challenge. All right, so as I mentioned, we're doing this with a fantasy draft. So we're going to go ahead and randomly select a team. I'm just going to let the CPU draft the entire team. Feels like it adds even more of a challenge to an already fun video. So we'll go ahead, I'll go over here just so you know I'm not cheating. We'll close my eyes. Not that any of you probably think I am, but we'll stop this in 3, 2, and 1. We end up with the Los Angeles Clippers. They are my team. Also, I did remember to turn off previously traded draft picks. I double checked. We're good. All right, so we have the Clippers. Let's sim this entire draft. I'll see you guys with this team. So fantasy draft is complete. Let's go ahead and take a look at this team that we have. And oh, wow, we have Joel Embiid on this team. So we must have had a really high draft pick, if I had to guess. Maybe somewhere in the top 5, just an educated guess, if you will. We have Michael Porter Jr., great young player. He's got actually game 1 of the finals tonight. I'm so excited for the finals. We have Jalen Williams here, a tremendous young rookie from the Oklahoma City Thunder. We have Scary Terry, one of my favorite Celtics of all time. John Collins, Mike Conley, Gordon Hayward, Alec Burks, Campaign, Montrezl Harrell, Billy Hernangomez, Lindy Walters III, Raul Neto, and Gabriel Deck. That's an interesting team. I think there's definitely a good mix of some nice young players, some good veteran players. I do think there's probably going to be a couple trades we do make. And I'm not saying we have to make the trades right now, but I don't necessarily think it would be a bad idea to try to... I mean, obviously the end goal is to win a championship, but I don't know. I think there's some trades on here that we could definitely make to set ourselves up for some success down the line. So let's find those. We're going to make this trade here with the Phoenix Suns, sending them Mike Conley and Alec Burks for Klay Thompson. Now, Klay Thompson is 32. Obviously, you see Mike Conley's 35. Yes, the age thing, 3 years is a difference, but ultimately Klay Thompson's not in his prime or anything. I'm making this trade because it's the best one I could find without having to give up a draft pick. When you turn off previously traded draft picks and remember, like you're supposed to, obviously you're limited with some of the assets you have. Now, in this case that we have the Clippers, we might actually have a few more than what we would typically have. But getting Klay Thompson, he's obviously a better player than both Mike Conley and Alec Burks. End of the day, he's making a lot of money, but he's still a really good shooting guard option for me here today, especially without giving up any draft picks. So we make that trade. You might be saying, who's your point guard now? Are you going to start Cameron Payne or Raul Neto? No, I'm just going to move Terry Rozier, who's 6'1". He played point guard when he was on the Celtics. And he is going to be he actually goes up to an 83 overall. Holy shit. He's going to be my starting point guard for at least year 1. He's under contract. Him and Klay in the backcourt. I do not mind that for a first season. So I think there's some more trades to go. I don't mind the starting lineup the way it stands right now. I'm interested to see what I could potentially get for John Collins just because I don't really see a world out there where he ever gets into the starting lineup over Jalen Williams. I think Williams is the better player here in 2K specifically. I'm not getting into that conversation in real life, but as you can see, he's 21. He's going to progress much faster. John Collins is making a lot of money. We'll see if we find the right trade. Not exactly the trade you were thinking of, but we're going to be sending Raul Neto and a second-round pick over to the Celtics. We're going to be getting their top 3 protected pick in 2024. Now, what does the Celtics team look like? Yeah, they're pretty good. This is irony and it's funniest. They're a pretty good team. I mean, ultimately, they're probably not going to be that bad to the point that this is going to actually be a valuable pick, but Raul Neto is not going to play, and I'm pretty happy with that move. So, I just, to be honest with you, it's honestly fine because John Collins is under contract for multiple years, and I'm not just going to give him up for nothing. He's still a good player. He's a tremendous bench piece for me, and honestly, I can live with it. So, Williams will definitely start. Collins will come off the bench. Maybe we'll look for a trade in the offseason. Also, I tried to shop Gordon Hayward. Didn't necessarily find anything I love, but kind of similar to John Collins in the contract aspect. He has more than 1 year, so we'll find something this offseason. So, wouldn't mind maybe trying to find an upgrade the backup shooting guard spot. I don't love Lindy Walters III backing up Klay Thompson here. Maybe if I could move like him and Gabriel Deck, I could find some sort of upgrade. Just curious what I would get. Obviously, doesn't need to be anybody tremendous. Also, I think we have 3 centers here. I don't know. Who would I prefer? I feel like I would maybe prefer Montrezl Harrell. Just curious, are there any serious upgrades at shooting guard here? Malik Monk, that's a great trade. We're going to take this. And we also get Isaiah Thomas, one of my favorite players of all time. But, yeah, Malik Monk is a huge upgrade. He's going to be coming off the bench. Likely will be our 6th man. And, yeah, that's probably going to be it for trades for year 1. This is a really good team. I think we're definitely contenders. See you guys at the rotation. I don't think I'm crazy for thinking we definitely could be contenders here in year 1. Now, this is nowhere near one of the best teams I've ever had or anything like that. But in a fantasy draft, when the league evens out a little bit, I don't think this is too bad. It's going to be Terry Rozier, Klay Thompson, Michael Porter Jr., Jalen Williams, and Joel Embiid. Bench unit's going to be Malik Monk, John Collins, Gordon Hayward, Cameron Payne, and Montrezl Harrell. It's not a terrible bench, honestly, especially for a fantasy draft. I think we'll be probably one of the top teams. We'll find out, though. I'll see you guys at the end of year 1. Year 1 ends, and Luka Doncic is your MVP. He's in Detroit. We went 49-33 on the year, so by no means is that some sort of tremendous record. I weirdly think that still could be in the mix in the Western Conference. Records tend to be a little bit more even in fantasy drafts, obviously, because the league is supposed to be. But Luka, MVP, very good season. Paolo Banchero wins Rookie of the Year. Obviously, we started this in a fantasy draft, so it's still the 2022 rookies. Kevin Porter Jr., 6th Man of the Year. Anthony Davis, Defensive Player of the Year. Şengün, Most Improved, and Will Hardy does win Coach of the Year. All right, so you can see we're the 4 seed here. I mean, maybe that's kind of on par. I thought maybe, yeah, so we actually tied the 3 seed, which is maybe a little bit more realistic. But you know what? I'm fine. I can live with this. Let's take a look at the numbers. Embiid was great. Thompson was honestly really solid. Terry Rozier, Michael Porter Jr. I'm assuming there's something a little bit wrong with his shot tendencies, classic 2K, because I would probably expect him to score more than Terry Rozier, just the way this team's constructed. Jalen Williams, Malik Monk, John Collins, Cameron Payne, Gordon Hayward, Montrezl Harrell. In terms of rebounds, it was obviously Embiid, and then assists was Terry Rozier. All right, we have Denver here in round 1. Obviously, we have no idea what this team looks like. It's going to be John Wall, Desmond Bane, Kawhi Leonard, Jeremy Grant, and Robert Williams. Kawhi and Rob Williams is a scary defensive duo. All right, let's see what ends up happening here in round 1. We are currently up 2-0. We go up 2-1. We go up 3-1, and we're on to the second round. And we will be taking on the 1 seed Utah Jazz, Jamal Murray, DeJounte Murray, Jason Tatum, Denny Avdija, Larry Nance Jr. All right, you got a crazy 1, 2, 3, and then an interesting front court here. But nonetheless, a very, very good team. And can we get the best of them right now? Can we beat this team? I don't know. Time will tell. We're 2-2 right now. We go up 3-2, and we're in the Western Conference Finals, taking on the Los Angeles Lakers, who have Giannis. And I feel like I'd probably start Brook Lopez over Capella just for the spacing next to Giannis, but that's just me. Keldon Johnson, you got Quentin Grimes, obviously Kyle Lowry, good veteran point guard here. So let's see what happens, man. That's a good team over there. I can't even say Los Angeles because we're in Los Angeles as well. We were up 3-1, now we're up 3-2, and we're in the NBA Finals. Does that say 47.5 points a game? Oh, this game continues to find new ways to amaze me. It really does. It honestly, it impresses me. All right, he scored basically 60. He scored 59 in Game 4. Game 1, he scored 51. Game 2, he scored 32. Game 3, he scored, holy shit. SGA on another level. Obviously, he's here. OG Anunoby, Larry Marketing, Bull, Steven Adams. Got Ayton coming off the bench. DeAndre Ayton's it's a tough one. I think I'd still start him over Steven Adams, though. All right, let's see what ends up happening here. We're up 2-0. We're up 3-0. And we walk to a championship. I knew I wasn't talking crazy when I said we were actual contenders, even though we had 49 wins. Joel Embiid, Finals MVP. Played very, very well. I'm very, very happy to see that. So, yeah, man, obviously that's great. But this league meetings point is what we're really trying to get to. So let's take a look at what's going to be changing in the league. Change the time the offense is given to advance the ball front court to 12 seconds. It was approved anyways. We'll approve it now. Opposing teams will enter the bonus after 16 fouls have been committed in a single quarter. I guess we will accept that. What is it now? I forget the exact number it is now, but we're going to approve that, obviously. Draft lottery. The top 6 picks are done via random weighted draw. Remaining lottery picks are determined by team record. Okay, so that means there's just a lottery for the top 6 now, I'm assuming, and everybody else in the lottery goes by their record. Interesting. It's approved. Abolish the mid-level exception. That sucks. That sucks. Mid-level exceptions are huge, and that'd probably help us out a lot. It's approved. And then eliminate short-term contracts. So I'm assuming this means like 10-day contract for guys who are obviously trying to make a team. Oh, that sucks. That's a stupid one to approve, but hey man, it's just the name of the video today. It's the one we're going with. All of those have been approved. NBA is definitely changing. Let's take a look at the lottery. I don't know if the draft is going to be, if this rule is going to be implemented immediately, or if we're going to have to wait and see. I have no idea. Hornets, Timberwolves, Spurs, Heat, Trailblazers. Obviously, all these teams look different than they do in real life. Ty Lue just coached us to a championship. He's not going anywhere. We do have our draft pick. Obviously, with turning off previously traded draft picks, you're going to have all your picks. Number 30 and number 24. I don't really feel as if I can really use this for much. So if anybody want to give me a future first? No, not really. All right. Are there any players down here I could possibly throw in the trade? Yeah, I mean, there's Gordon Hayward. I mean, what would my options be there? I would probably take Lou Dort over Gordon Hayward. I think that's a fair assessment at this point in time. While Carmelo Anthony's still in the league, I think Lou Dort's probably a fair replacement. I don't necessarily hate that a ton, and obviously we're not really giving up much. So you know what, Lou Dort, welcome to the team. Happy with that trade. We're not going to be drafting anybody. Team player options. Cameron Payne. I think he's a serviceable enough point guard to come back. Wouldn't mind fighting an upgrade from Montrezl Harrell. Maybe somebody high 70s, low 80s. We'll find that. Free agency. In terms of our major free agents, we don't really have any. Nicholas Batum was on this team. I didn't even see him. Yeah, man. We might have some trades coming, though. We're going to make this trade here with the Milwaukee Bucks. We do not have to move Klay Thompson. He was obviously our second leading scorer, and he played very, very well for us. But I know how 2K works, like many of you do, and unfortunately, regression is going to hit him like a truck. I would not be surprised if he was like in 83, maybe 84 overall by the start of next year. But we're getting a tremendous young player here in Tyrese Maxey, who had a great season last year. He does nothing but go up in overalls, and we're also getting a draft pick that could maybe be valuable because this team honestly looks young. I don't know. We'll find out. But Tyrese Maxey, welcome to the team. Very excited to have him here. So we have our new shooting guard. In terms of anything else we want to do, I think it could be time to find a John Collins trade, but I'm not going to force anything. He's still a decent backup. Well, he's a great backup. He's still a decent player. And ultimately, I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world to have him remain our backup. But we'll see. If I can find the right move, I'll obviously make it. There was nothing I liked for John Collins, so we're going to be going ahead and just signing ourselves a new backup center. Obviously, we moved and traded Montrezl Harrell, and these are not great options. Chimezie Metu is probably as good as it's going to get for now, so he'll have to do. And everybody else is basically free to go. All right, I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. We're here at the start of year 2, and I'm going to try to make this trade here for Jalen Brunson. I don't have a problem with Terry Rozier, but ultimately, I think Jalen Brunson is a clear-cut, pretty big upgrade. So we're going to try to get this to go through. Obviously, we don't have to include any other players, which is also really big. And I wouldn't really want to give up a ton, but we do have this Celtics and this Bucks pick that honestly both could be really valuable. So we're going to probably include 3 first. I don't know. Okay, they agree to that. All right, welcome to the team, Jalen Brunson. Let's set the rotation. It's not often that we win a championship and we make 2 major changes to this team, but that's actually exactly what we did today. Completely changing this backcourt, adding Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Maxey, replacing Terry Rozier and Klay Thompson. We lost a little bit of size. Brunson's 6'2", Maxey's 6'2". I think Klay's like, 6'5" or something, and I know Terry Rozier is only like 6'3". But really, I don't think it's going to matter nearly as much as it would in real life, and even with that, I think this would be an incredible backcourt. It's going to be Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, Michael Porter Jr., Jalen Williams, Joel Embiid. Bench unit's going to be Malik Monk. John Collins is actually a higher overall than Jalen Williams, and funny enough, the game does want him to start. I might not say it in the minutes, but it does if you auto-reset the rotation. Potential-wise, I'm still going to go with Jalen Williams. We know what kind of player John Collins is. He's a good player, but I don't really think it's worth it for me. 1 overall difference. I don't see much difference. Lou Dort is here now. Cameron Payne still here. And Chimezie Metu, our new backup center. All right, this is a good team. We're definitely championship contenders. See you guys at the end of year 2. End of year 2, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is your MVP. The man averaged, 47.5 points a game in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Looks like he continued that high level of play to the regular season this year. Maybe we'll meet up in the finals again. Who knows? We went 57-25 on the year. That's 8 games better than last year. And honestly, we're well on pace to hopefully go out and win another championship. Victor Wembanyama ends up in Charlotte. He wins Rookie of the Year, went number 1 overall. Brandon Miller, 6th Man of the Year in San Antonio. Hell of a 6th-man campaign, especially for a rookie. I believe that's the 2nd straight DPOY for Anthony Davis. Tyrese Halliburton, most improved. He's an incredible player already. And Dwayne Casey, Coach of the Year. Hopefully the same thing doesn't happen last time we won Coach of the Year. All right, let's take a look at the numbers on the year. We were 2 games ahead of the Utah Jazz for the 1 seed here in the West. Second best record in the league. All right, cool. Let's take a look at the numbers. And, yeah, man, you got Michael Porter Jr. scoring a little bit more. I'm surprised Brunson actually wasn't our second leading scorer. Maxey a little bit lower than I maybe would have hoped. Maybe that Klay Thompson trade's not looking so great. But honestly, it's fine by me. As long as we're winning games, all that matters. We got the Lakers, the team we placed in the Western Conference Finals last year. Looks like they've made a couple changes, but they're still a really, really good team. And I think they're very beatable. I'm just going to say that right now, and hopefully we can go out and prove that. We are currently up 3-1 right now, and we do close them out in 5. Moving on to the Golden State Warriors. They have De'Aaron Fox, Jalen Green. Wow, that is a very good backcourt. You got Kuzma, Trey Murphy, Valanciunas, Mark Williams. All right, this is a fun second-round matchup. I think they're a really good team, but I'm going to stand by us, and I think we're better, and we sweep them. Okay, cool. Did we face Denver in round 1 last year? We might have. This is a tremendous team again. I mean, these are just good teams we're facing at this point in time. We're down 2-0 right now. Wow. We got swept. That is less than ideal, and dude, this man is just on another level. 2K's doing tricks on it. I mean, good lord. And the Pacers go on to win the finals, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I don't want to say comes back down to earth because he's still averaging 33, 5, and 11, but a little more realistic than 47 or 42 or whatever the hell it was. All right, obviously it is time for the second and final league meeting. See how much more we're going to change the NBA today. Violations in the key when instated will be called after 5 seconds. Okay, that's fine by me. Cool. Approve. Shot clock resets full duration. Okay, so this is I believe, if I'm reading this correctly, it's the way that it used to work before they changed it. So I believe the way it used to work, if my memory is serving me correctly, say a team shot the ball, hit the rim, that team rebounds it. Like the same team that shot it rebounded it. You get a fresh 24. Instead of now, you get a fresh 14. I believe that's what they're doing right now, which means scoring could go down a little bit. Players will not be eligible for the entry draft until at least 4 years removed from high school or an international player 22 years old or older. Is that like, I believe that's the way college football works right now, which is interesting. I don't love that rule. I think there's a reason that there's only one league in the, or 1 year in the NBA and, you know, the 4 3-year rule in college, whatever it is for football. It's interesting. I don't love it. The top teams from each conference are combined and see. Oh, wow. This is one we're going to see next year in the playoffs. This is going to be interesting. And change the shot clock to 35 seconds. Scoring is going to be in the floor. I mean, that is just ridiculous. But we have to approve them all. It's the challenge of today's video. Let's hit the draft lottery right now. In terms of draft pick, that Celtics pick's top 3 protected. So unless it falls to 4, we're not going to be getting it, unfortunately. And it did. It fell all the way to 5. So we have the number 5 overall selection this year. That's pretty cool. I'm good with Ty Lue. I still think he's a good head coach. Just because we got embarrassed in the Western Conference Finals does not mean I'm going to fire him. He won us a championship year 1. But we do have the 5th overall pick, which is cool and leaves us room to make a trade. What trade will that be? I have no idea, but let's see if we can find one. We're going to hit up the Portland Trail Blazers and see if they'd be willing to give me Jaren Jackson Jr. I know I've been basically a very huge fan of Jalen Williams throughout today's video, but ultimately, if I can get Jaren Jackson Jr., who is a defensive player of the year, and pair him with Joel Embiid, I'm doing it 10 times out of 10. I don't care. This is the 5th overall pick from the Celtics, and obviously John Collins is in here to make the money work. It is the final year. This Bucks pick doesn't have a ton of value, but I think we can probably get this to... actually, I don't know. I actually don't know if this is going... Oh, it does. Okay, cool. Welcome to the team, Triple J. Obviously, that kind of limits some of our assets, but no matter who we were going to draft there, that was not going to be as impactful as Jaren Jackson Jr. was. So Williams will go to the bench now. We have Tyrese Maxey here as a free agent. We definitely want to get him back. And let's look, do we have any other free agents? We do. We have Cameron Payne, but I'm just going to qualify Maxey. It's the final year. I'm not going to trade him anyways. And then in terms of Cameron Payne, is there an upgrade out there that we could possibly get? Not really. So we'll probably just pay him. Oh, shit, Malik Monk. I really, really hope that Malik Monk, or at least we're able to offer him something. If not, is this going to work? I have absolutely no idea. I don't know. Okay, well, we got them all back, thank God. Losing Malik Monk would have sucked. He was our 6th man. He's been playing great for us. At this point in time, I would not maybe look to mind to upgrade the backup center. Metu's not necessarily a terrible player or anything like that, but I wouldn't mind maybe really solidifying it. So I'm actually going to do this kind of the cheesy way. Okay, never mind. I'm just going to sign somebody, then probably throw them in the trade with Metu, and then see what we can find. So I want to find that upgrade. It's kind of the last position where I'm maybe a little bit worried about the backup. Not because he's a terrible player, just because I think there's something better out there for us. So let's see. In terms of backup centers, these are not great options at all. I don't like any of these, to be honest with you. Drew Eubanks is here, but Drew Eubanks, that's not it. I'm going to make the trade for Kenrick Williams because we also get the first-round pick, and then I'm going to include Kenrick Williams in the first-round pick and a second and see if there's any other center options here. Usman Garuba is here. Well, he had 9 rebounds last year. That was in 30 minutes a game, though. Mason Plumlee is not a terrible option. JRE is here. He's 6'8". You know, we'll take Usman Garuba. At least he's young enough where maybe his overall will go up a few. All right, this is it. I'll see you guys at the start of the third and final year. All right, it's officially the start of the final season for us here in this challenge. I think it's been a pretty successful one so far. It's going to be really interesting to see the playoffs this year because obviously the landscape of the playoffs completely changes. It's going to be interesting to see scoring this year, obviously with a 35-second shot clock. It'll probably go down, but that's the point of the video. Let's see what ends up happening. It's going to be Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, Michael Porter Jr., Jaren Jackson Jr. Huge new upgrade and huge new addition here. Him and Joel Embiid in the front court is terrifying. I'm going to give Jalen Williams a nod as the sixth man. For those of you saying, why don't you do the same with John Collins? I don't know. He's 6'5". I don't know. Typically, I don't like big men, but, I mean, is he really that much of a big? He's 6'5". I don't know. Followed by Malik Monk, Lou Dort, Cameron Payne, and Usman Garuba, who is still a 78 overall, but is what it is. All right, I'll see you guys at the end of the third and final year. It's really funny to look at the scoring. Luka's winning an MVP, averaging 20 points a game. I'm just curious, just to, like, look at some of the other options for, like, what would happen. Oh, can I not see per points? That's annoying, but... Nonetheless, scoring went down. I was seeing the records throughout the regular season. It was like, the final scores were like 82 to like 72. It was funny. Ron Holland, Rookie of the Year, Brandon Miller. That's impressive. You know, 15 points a game is 5 less than the MVP, and he was a sixth man. Chet Holmgren, Defensive Player of the Year. Alger Thompson, Most Improved. Ty Lue. Yeah, we went 67 and 15, by the way. Yeah, this is a good team. Obviously, it's going to look a little different, and this is crazy. Holy shit. So this is more like... This is like March Madness-esque because you have a 1 playing a 16. This is pretty cool. I can't even lie. Like, I wouldn't mind this for like one season. I don't know. I wouldn't hate it. Let's look at our season. See how everybody did. You had Joel Embiid as our leading scorer with 16 points. This is hilarious. This is so funny. But we have Dallas, so we are facing a Western Conference team, albeit it is the 16th seed. You have a battle of 2 of the best centers in the league, Jokic and Embiid. And I think they're a beatable team. Let's see what ends up happening. We do, and oh my God, we fucking chill. Well, it's happened in college basketball before. 16 beats a 1 seed. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I just want to see like the final scores of some of these games. Pelicans going to win it all, and 18 points a game for Cade Cunningham gives him Finals MVP. Final score of this game was 98-88. It's actually a pretty high scoring game. 84, 91, 101. It's actually pretty impressive. All right, the league definitely changed, albeit we did choke with probably our best team yet. And maybe that's some karma for me trading Klay Thompson and Terry Rozier. I have no idea. But I had fun with this one. This was a fun challenge, albeit, I mean, it's not the most impossible challenge, but it's still a fun one to get us back into them. So if you guys have any other challenges you want to see, let me know down below in the comment section. This was a fun one, and I enjoyed making it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching it. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it for this one. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.